with respect to what for convenience might be termed mainstream Buddhism. By this I mean the Buddhism taught in authoritative scriptural sources and practiced in the Asia-Pacific region, which today is home to almost 99% of the world's Buddhists. Socially conservative in nature, this mainstream Buddhism may be contrasted with modernist conceptions of Buddhism found mainly in the West that are generally more liberal in their ethical views, and points of tension between the two will become apparent in the following chapters. While endeavoring to represent the views of the mainstream, however, this work has no pretensions to being authoritative or definitive. It scarcely needs saying that the issues explored here are controversial, and while some listeners may find that the approach taken is congenial to their own reading of Buddhism, others will no doubt disagree, perhaps strongly, with the conclusions reached. Disagreements on ethical matters are almost inevitable given the nature of the subject matter, but hopefully even listeners who disagree will feel better informed about alternative perspectives. Overall, I have tried to adopt the role of sympathetic critic, identifying what I see as both the strengths and weaknesses of the Buddhist perspective in the hope of generating a productive dialogue. Chapter 1. Buddhist Morality. Morality is woven into the fabric of Buddhist teachings, and there is no major branch or school of Buddhism that fails to emphasize the importance of the moral life. The scriptures of Buddhism in many languages speak eloquently of virtues such as nonviolence and compassion, and the Buddhist Golden Rule. For example, Dhammapada verse 130 counsels us not to do anything to others we would not like done to ourselves. Newcomers to Buddhism are often struck by the variety of the different Asian traditions, as divergent in form as Zen and Tibetan Buddhism. But underlying these differences, we can discern a common moral code composed of the principles, precepts, virtues, and values expounded by the Buddha in the 5th century BCE. The purpose of this first chapter is to review these moral teachings which today guide the conduct of some 500 million Buddhists around the world. Dharma and Karma. The ultimate foundation for Buddhist ethics is Dharma. Dharma is a term with many meanings, but its most basic sense is that of a principle of cosmic order. Every aspect of life is believed to be regulated by Dharma, from the succession of the seasons to the norms that govern human societies. Dharma is neither caused by nor under the control of a supreme being, and the gods themselves are subject to its ordinances, as was the Buddha. The Buddha claimed only to have discovered Dharma, not to have invented it. Living in accordance with Dharma and implementing its requirements with respect to law, custom, religion, and ethics is thought to lead to happiness and well-being. Neglecting or transgressing it is said to lead to endless suffering in the cycle of rebirth known as samsara. Dharma is also the name given to Buddhist teachings, since these are believed to reflect the truth about the nature of things. In his first sermon, the Buddha was said to have turned the wheel of Dharma, and in this discourse he set out the Four Noble Truths, the last of which is the Noble Eightfold Path that leads to Nirvana. This path has 3 divisions: morality, shila, meditation, samadhi, and wisdom, prajna, from which we can see that morality is a foundational component of the path to nirvana. The traditional enumeration of the 8 items that make up the path begins with wisdom, since one cannot meaningfully embark on the path without at least a preliminary understanding of Buddhist teachings. Dharma embodies a moral order commonly referred to as the law of karma, karma niyama. In popular usage, karma is thought of simply as the good and bad things that happen to a person, a bit like good and bad luck. However, this oversimplifies what for Buddhists is a complex concept embracing both ethics and cosmology. The literal meaning of the Sanskrit word karma is action, but when used in an ethico-religious context, karma is concerned exclusively with moral actions and the way they affect individuals in present and future lives. Karma is not a system of rewards and punishments meted out by God, but an